welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about learning resources for learning more about your Amazon Echo and all the different things you can do. We're going to be talking about a sister podcast to us, the Dot to Dot podcast, which has surpassed 2,000 episodes by the end of this week, from a colleague of mine, Robin Christofferson, over in the United Kingdom. But before we get into that in any sort of detail, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Hello again, and welcome back to the Echo Tips podcast. For our new listeners, I'd like to welcome you. My name is David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill, based here in Southwest Virginia. And you'll find that our episodes are little nuggetized episodes where we highlight new things you can do on the Echo. We dust off some of the oldies but goodies and the like, sometimes address new hardware as it rolls out as well. And we try to keep our episodes 5 to 15 minutes in length. Sometimes we violate that rule, but we try to keep it around there. And for our returning listeners, we'd like to welcome you back as well. So today I was going to mention learning resources for the Echo, and there's a number of them out there, but I especially this week wanted to highlight one, and that is a podcast done by Robin Christofferson called the Dot to Dot podcast. And by the end of this week, he will have surpassed 2,000 episodes of his daily, not weekly like ours, daily podcast about the Echo. Now, his format is a little different than ours. It's closer to like somewhere around 5 minutes. That was kind of the original form factor. I think he goes a little longer than that on rare occasions now. But it's definitely different in that it is all about skills or third-party, you could say, apps available on the Amazon Echo. So there's actual storefront for that. If you've ever wanted to look at that, you go to Amazon.com. And then change the drop-down menu. Instead of shoes or clothing or anything like that, you can actually see there's A Lady Skills, and you can specify that and then search the skills on the main public Amazon.com website. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that to people before. That was a request I put in years ago, and I think others did, and we saw it within a month. And it's been a part of the Amazon store ever since. So that's a great learning resource. You can go on there and delve in to learn more about skills. Now, through his episodes, he on each episode generally tackles one of those. I'm sure there's some outliers where maybe he's addressed more than one skill at once, but generally each ep of those 2,000 episodes addresses one of those skills. And he often goes back to ones, imagine 2,000 episodes, he goes back and sometimes looks at some of the older ones and kind of dusts it off and says, oh, there's all these new things you can do. And since he started, and since I've started, you also have subscription plans. You can pay for upgrades inside the skill. So it's really become kind of a real legitimate storefront where there's actually commerce and components, which I think elevates the capability of these skills. So that could include games, trivia, meditation, music, books, reference skills of all types you can imagine. So just so much stuff. But let me introduce you to his podcast. If you have an Echo in hearing distance of me, you may want to shut its ears off. That way I am not tripping your Echo at home, and you'll just hear it here on the recording. But just give you a second to do that. Okay, hopefully you've had enough time. Now let's give it a shot. Alexa, play the latest episode of the Dot to Dot podcast.
Playing Dot to Dot.
Booyah.
Daily 5 minutes Alexa demo show from Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Here's episode 1945. DTD 1998 Zombie Racing.
Yeah, I think it's really the 1998 episode. I'm not too sure why it
The Daily 5
renders
Minutes
it that
Demo
way.
Show.
So he's
For
really
everyone
close to
who's
that 2000.
thinking about Alexa. Hey guys, Robin here. Today we are going to look at zombie racing, as I mentioned yesterday.
Zombie racing.
Now, I didn't realise that we actually haven't covered it on Dot to Dot at all, only on the Echo Show, and that was ages ago.
Okay, so that
And
kind
it
of
is
gives
a
you a
really good
taste.
skill, even though it requires no skill whatsoever, but it's just really, really fun. Alexa, open zombie racing.
I gotta hear this.
Zombie racing.
Oh my gosh. Alexa,
Let's pick your
stop.
zombie.
Okay, so that gives you a little taste of the Dot to Dot podcast. So by all means, give that a listen. I think you'll find it really awesome, all the different things. And he's gone through phases where he's like addressing just games, or he's going through, maybe seasonal things that are appropriate. And I want to also encourage you to check his longer form podcast with him and Sean Priest, which is called The Echo Show. It's kind of a simple name, The Echo Show. And that's pretty awesome too. And I'm actually a subscriber to that podcast because they do have like special episodes that are just for subscribers. So anyway, check those things out. I think you'll find them cool and educational. But I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to reach out to us with thoughts or comments, you can do so on Facebook or Twitter at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys. And by all means, if you'd like to reach out to us via email, you can do so as well at info@goodwillvalleys.com. And that would be an excellent way to reach out to us. Also, we're a nonprofit. If you'd like to entertain ways that you can support us or do some sort of sponsorship, as we're very proud of the supporters from the support from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. If you'd like to investigate those kind of sponsorship opportunities, reach out to us as well. We would really appreciate the support. All right, well, I think that brings this episode to a close. We got a lot of good things in store for us in the weeks ahead, so we appreciate your listenership. And it's that time again, boys and girls, to turn on the ears on your Echo, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. Let me tell you a bit more. Let me put on my official sounding voice. Ahem. Ahem. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys and also made possible in part by a grant from the Virginia Board for the Blind and Vision Impaired. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving Central, Southwest, and Southside Virginia. Goodwill's mission is to empower individuals, strengthen families, and inspire communities. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Phew! Thanks for listening.